Oh my God! I have been talking to myself for 5 minutes. I was like, this is weird. I'm telling them really good tea and no one's reacting. This is very bizarre. And it's because I wasn't live. I was like, oh, am I live? Am I not live? Oh my God, I thought I wasn't live, but I wasn't sure. And then again, I was like, wow, I'm telling people some like really good stuff. I can't believe no one has anything to say about that. And then I was like, wait a minute. So, all right, I'll tell you the story again. All right. All right, so yes, we're live. So we're having a stream today instead of Friday. So the streaming schedule these days is that we have the viewer call-in show. I'm glad, yes, everybody's here. I was like, no one's reacting to any of this stuff. Okay, so anyway, so the viewer call-in show is on Sundays. Then on Monday and Tuesdays, we have regular streams, and then now they're on Fridays. But tomorrow, we're doing the Princess and the Frog watch-along at 5 p.m. Same bad time, same bad channel. It's gonna be great. I have my snack already picked out. I think it's pretty clever. I'll surprise you with it tomorrow. It's not gumbo though. I was trying to order soup. I thought gumbo would be fun, but then I was like, it's awfully hot. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, you guys can hear me, right? Max, try turning up. Yeah, I'm coming in pretty loud, I think. But yes, so no, it's not Gummy Frogs, Dallas. That's a good one. It's close. I think it's pretty fun. But I didn't get gumbo because I didn't want to eat like hot soup while we were watching the movie. But yes, it's at 5 p.m. tomorrow, and it's really great because it's on both Disney Plus and Netflix. So it should be really easy for people to join in if you're interested. So I was so surprised yesterday that so many of you had never seen the movie. So it's a really great thing to do, particularly for a watch along. Thank you everybody for joining today. I wanted to say that I really appreciate everyone who tunes in at all. If you can be a member, that's really also appreciated because it does help me out a lot, particularly during this time period when there's less movie news and trailers. So thank you everybody. But if you can't be a member, I do of course understand. I greeted some new members who were in the chat, but you didn't hear me because I didn't know I was not live. But some people joined today. I saw, let's see here. I can't go back and see the old chat. I had a new member, one new member, and someone else who's I think Brendan, who was joining for the first time today. All right, so here's the story I was going to tell you. All right, so well, I did tell it to you, but I wasn't live, so I told it to myself. All right, so I'll tell it to you now. So I have some proof that I can share about Jason Momoa jumping the gun on that trailer reveal. All right. Of course, I have my sources, but I can't tell you what they told me directly. But, so, yes, Lionel, thank you. Lionel, thanks, Chicken Beach. Lionel, thank you. Welcome. So, I think a really good public example of the way this went down is the time frame. So, Jason Momoa dropped the teaser on his Instagram account at around 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we know that to be the case because one of you sent it to me at 11:42. So it was around then. You're the first person to send it to me. And I was like, what? So that's when it dropped. Now, not until 15 minutes later, minimum, did it drop on Zack Snyder and HBO Max's social media accounts. So usually it would have been simultaneous. But then the thing that's the real kicker is that HBO Max didn't put out a press release until 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, about an hour and a half after it dropped. That never happens. The way it works is that you have a press release ready to go at the moment of debut. So you get the most traction for what you're debuting. Because you'll notice that the trades, like the Hollywood Reporter, Deadline, they didn't run their articles until around 1 o'clock when that press release came out. If it had been coordinated, if HBO Max and everyone knew what was going to happen, that press release would have been ready to go. To make things even crazier, at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, that's 8:30 a.m. Pacific Coast time, where most of these people are located, and so they weren't even at work yet, or in their work mode because everyone's quarantining. So they were like, "Holy crap!" So I think Jason Momoa, I love his enthusiasm. I think it's wonderful. But I do feel that it would have trended if it had been more of a coordinated effort. It's unfortunate it didn't trend. If I were HBO Max, I'd be a little disappointed. I think another reason it didn't trend is that everything in the trailer we've seen before. Either it's the speech from the end of Batman v Superman and the end credits, or It's the stills. He showed both Gal Gadot in that scene and the dark side look were previously released. So I think that's another reason it didn't trend. But also I think because it wasn't coordinated. I think if that press release had dropped when the trailer had dropped, the teaser trailer had dropped, all the articles would have popped up at the same time. It probably would have trended. So that's why you have to do these coordinated efforts. It's very, very important. But I think that it will probably trend when it debuts a full trailer at DC Fandom. I think that it's going to be tough at DC Fandom. Talk about a competition, because I feel like 24 hours is a very tight time frame, and they're billing it as having tons of announcements. So I'm a little concerned as to how everyone's going to make sure they get, like, who's going to trend, basically. So I'm very curious. We'll see what happens on Friday, August 22nd. All right, so let's get into today's 3 stories. And then afterwards, you can ask me anything that you would like for the final 10 minutes of the stream. I'm working my way through a ton of screeners. I have a lot of screeners. I'll have to watch My Spy tonight. I have some other ones that I'm a little more excited about, but the My Spy one is going to expire. So I gotta get on it. But before we get to the stories, what's everybody doing today? The Movie Lover says, eating IKEA meatballs. Oh, where'd you get those? You must have ordered them. Yes, Dallas, Gal Gadot always looks amazing. Fidel, that wasn't a story. I was just telling you some funny stuff. Oh, the Movie Lover says My Spy was good. Oh, so now I feel a little better. Oh, Polite Bear says, hi, Grace. My first time watching from Scotland. Oh, you live up to your name. You're very polite. Fidel is eating a salad in Memphis. Fidel was on the show on Sunday. We know he's a teacher, studying also to become his dream is to become a science teacher. Right now he's teaching English. Let's see here. Who's in Texas there? Flavio's in Texas. Hi. Dino worked a long shift. Lena? Yeah, Gal Gadot is very beautiful. Oh, let's see here. Tabitha's looking forward to My Spy. You guys are getting me excited about My Spy. I can't wait now. Evan's in Ohio having taco night. I'm going to have pizza and broccoli for dinner. Hey, Brandon, thanks for joining. Anne is eating a beef bowl in Phoenix. That sounds lovely. I got some beef for burgers this weekend. Barbie's watching BVS in Detroit. Wonderful. Great idea. Karen's eating spaghetti in Maryland. I'm so glad you guys allow me to be part of your mealtime. Jordan, you're going to go for beignet and gumbo? I'm impressed if you actually have those things. Chicken Beach is in LA postponing a snack run. Oh, that sounds good. Thank you for waiting. Cameron's snuggling with a puppy in Utah. Oh, you might win today. Rodrigo is roasting a chicken. I ordered some chicken as well. My food delivery comes on Wednesday. Daniel says pizza and broccoli is an odd combo. Well, I'm not quite sure what to pair with the broccoli. It's a sauteed broccoli with a red pepper and garlic. It's really good. But I'm not sure. Maybe I'll put fish sticks with it, but that seems like it's a little too heavy. I got to think about it. I got to look at my food. Carlos has a migraine. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Mommy needs a nap. It's good to see you here. Is hanging at the house in Arkansas, getting ready to cook pork carnitas. Oh, your kids are going to love that. I know. Mommy needs a nap. Let's see here. Madeline, you're painting a diamond? What an interesting subject. Jose has coconut cake in Florida. Be careful in Florida. We're going to talk about you in a moment. Let's see here. Lloyd is in recovery from binging the entire season of Love, Victor. Ah, that's great. I can't wait to dive in myself. All right, so let's get to today's stories. And then, of course, at the end of the stream, you can ask me anything that you would like. All right. Oh, wait, darn it. I push the wrong thing all the time. Why do I do that? All right. A lot of technical errors today. All right. Boop. All right, there's the first story of the day. Zeester just finished Mrs. America and Space Force. Yeah, that's good TV. I'm a little envious that you got to experience all that together. All right, so anyway, yes, first story of the day. California has made masks mandatory. Before it was just a suggestion, but people couldn't handle the suggestion, so now it's quote-unquote mandatory. No word on how they're going to enforce it. I think it's unenforceable a little bit. Although American Airlines, well, I don't know, they threw somebody off a plane the other day for not wearing a mask, but then when he got off the plane, other people who worked on the ground apologized. So I'm like, what? I think masks really do need to be mandatory. But because, and also you got to wear the whole mask. A lot of people, I saw a funny tweet where someone was like, put the goddamn mask over your nose. It's true. You got to wear the whole mask. You just can't wear the mask over your mouth or around your chin. You got to wear the mask. I know that it's hard to wear them. I, in fact, had to wear a mask where I was cleaning my groceries yesterday, and it's so hot here in New York, I felt I might pass out. I mean it. I really did. But I just should have, next time I'll drink more water before I wear it because, I would like to survive the coronavirus pandemic, quite frankly. So anyway, you would think California, everyone would be wearing their masks, right? Well, it turns out there are a lot of very large conservative patches in California. One of them is Orange County, which is part of Los Angeles. A lot of people who work in Los Angeles and work in the industry live in Orange County. So they don't want to wear masks. And recently they all stormed the beach in California. That was in Orange County. So they're not wanting to wear their masks. Now, a lot of places across the entire country, including California, are seeing aggressive spikes as they try to reopen. The worst are in Arizona and Florida. Very, very bad spikes. So please be careful. Be careful everywhere. I am curious, Alex just pointed out that Disneyland is in Orange County. The problem is that, some people asked when this started to happen, will any of these theme parks have to close again? Like in Florida, if everything in Florida is spiking, like some people are saying Florida could be the new epicenter for coronavirus in the United States. Will Disney World close up again? I don't think any theme park will actually close unless they can be proven that people are catching coronavirus there. Then they'll have to close for 24 hours for like a mass cleaning, and then they're going to have to open up again you can already see pictures of people at Disney Springs, and I'm sure Universal not wearing their masks even though they're supposed to. It's very, very hard to enforce. So Gavin Newsom today said you got to wear masks. He said it's mandatory. And that's him wearing a mask there with a protester underneath him. I don't think he's wearing a particularly good mask. It has a lot of open space at the top of his face. I think there are better masks out there. I think he's trying to wear one that's maybe a little bit more firm and cosmetic. I think he should just go for the best quality mask. Now, of course, California really wants to reopen. They do want to film. They want to start filming. I will tell you that all the offices in Hollywood, from the agencies to the studios, they're not going back to work. Everybody's still working at home. Google and Facebook are closed. Everyone's work from home for those companies till the end of the year. So just because some people are going out doesn't mean everyone's going out. My sister tells me this really good story. At one point, she knows somebody who was taking a car service, and they put their seatbelt on. And the driver said, you can really tell who feels they have something to lose by who puts the seatbelt on and who doesn't. And I think it's similar to with the mask and going out. So try to just, let other people be the guinea pigs. Just be really, really careful. New York City starts phase 2 on Monday. We are fast forwarding through the phases, I think, because of political pressure. Phase 2 here in New York City means that stores can have 50% capacity, offices can open, and hair salons can open. I got an email from my hair salon, and I was like, nope, not yet. I'm going to wait. Thank you, though. I felt bad, but I'm not going back yet. I'm going to wait to really start going back to like even a little bit of stuff until probably movie theaters open. Because once movie theaters open, my business is particularly back to normal. We're going to do a ticket montage, by the way, for whichever movie hits first, Tenet or Mulan. And it'll be a montage where you must have your face mask on to be included. So, because I was conflicted. I was like, do I want to encourage people to go to the movies if they wouldn't otherwise go by saying you'll get to be on Movie Math? I know some people, and I appreciate that, like being on the episode. So I was like, I know what I'll do. You got to wear a mask to be in the picture. So plan for that. And I think it'll be fun to see what people's experiences are like at the theater and who's going. And so I think we will do the ticket montage, but you'll have to wear a mask for me to use the picture. Sorry, I feel bad, but you gotta wear the mask. All right, so anyway, we'll see what happens with New York. They got to phase 2 in 2 weeks, basically. So phase 4, we could have our movie theaters open by the time Tenet hits at the end of July, or Mulan opens on the 24th. So we'll see. Basically, the world is choosing the economy over people. Brazil stopped even. Hi, Susie. Thanks for joining. It's so nice to see you. I talked to Susie actually the other day, and I said, tell me when you're here. And I can't believe I looked at the right moment and saw you. That's so great. That's meant to be, Susie. But yeah, you got to be like really careful. Like Brazil has stopped reporting any coronavirus deaths. And they were like, you know what? People die. What are we going to do about it? And you're like, what? So just be really, really careful. All right. So yeah, my Disney mask, Cami, is in the mail. I haven't got it yet, but it's on its way. I'm very excited. If you go to the movie, I would honestly suggest that you keep your mask on the whole time. That's how I think you'll probably feel the best about the experience. I'm sorry. I know it sucks. I know you want food, but I think just don't take your mask off, at least for the first two movies. Just see how it is. Just feel it out and be like, do I like it in here? And just see what's going on. Sufjan says, Grace, we can't stay in lockdown forever. That's true. We can't. I'm hoping that they have a vaccine by the end of the year, which Dr. Fauci is saying is possible. Just be really careful. You can go outside. Just wear your mask. Just wear your mask, please. Just wear your mask. All right. So that's the first story of the day. I'm really curious to see how many people actually show up at the theater. It's going to be real interesting to do that box office report. All right. Second story of the day. So you know who's benefited greatly from coronavirus? Pete Davidson. Now, they haven't released any numbers for The King of Staten Island. Universal hasn't released any. Oh, boop. Sorry. Boop, boop, boop. All right, so Universal hasn't released any numbers for The King of Staten Island. However, they've done something else to confirm that they're very happy with the movie, and that's give Pete Davidson another job. That's right, he signed on for another movie with Universal. And who will be his co-star? Why, none other than his frequent Weekend Update co-star, Colin Jost. And I included that picture of Colin Jost and Scarlett Johansson because, you know, she really took a leap of faith. She's like, I'm going to marry this head writer on Saturday Night Live, and he might turn into a movie star. Let's see. I don't know. I don't think Colin Jost can act, quite frankly. But I think that you'll see in a moment the role he's playing here. I think it's a good role. I love Colin, too. I think he's very likable. He also has a small role in Tom and Jerry, which has now been pushed, of course, to 2021. But, you know, I think the way, if he's used correctly, he can do a good job. He's also a writer, obviously. He's the head writer on Saturday Night Live, and he's going to co-write this movie. He pitched this movie. It was his idea, and he gave himself a very clever job. Oh, by the way, Universal, of course, also owns NBC, and therefore owns SNL, so they're keeping all their stuff in-house. So the movie's going to be called Worst Man. It's basically another best man picture where Colin Jost is getting married and he makes the crazy choice of having Pete Davidson as his best man. And hijinks ensue. Now you might be like, oh man, not another wedding comedy. How many times are they going to remake the same movie? Well, that's exactly the right thing. That's the right thinking. Hollywood loves to remake the same movie because they know you like it. They just change up who's in the movie to get today's hot talent. So you might be like, I wasn't too into that Josh Gad, Kevin Hart Best Man movie. It didn't do very well, so not a lot of people watched it. But maybe I'll watch Pete Davidson and Colin Jost. And I got to tell you, I definitely watch this movie. This movie sounds very good to me. I like Pete Davidson. I like Colin Jost. And maybe Scarlett Johansson will cameo. Maybe Scarlett Johansson will have a little cameo. Colin Jost can maybe talk about his wedding while he's promoting the movie because he's getting married. I think it really works out really nicely. Yeah, whatever. Chase Joseph, you're right. Paul Rudd and Jason Segel movie was pretty good. Whatever happened to Jason Segel? Boy, he really disappeared. Hollywood's a tough business. Anna's going to watch it, right? Who would watch this movie? I would totally watch this movie. It sounds excellent. And I really liked The King of Staten Island, as you know. A lot of people did. It did, very well received by critics and audiences. Barbie says, no thanks. Christian would. Josh says marriage is so 90s. That's pretty funny, Josh. That's true. Marriage is down significantly. A lot of people waiting for reviews. I shall tell you how it is. I like that Chicken Beach is like, nah, and then laughs about it. You guys it's a maybe. I think Colin Jost and Pete Davidson will take that maybe. How many of you have seen The King of Staten Island? I think that might be a factor here. I think Pete Davidson is underrated, Joseph. As I said, he's the new Steve Buscemi, and he has a Suicide Squad cameo coming up. I don't think he's the leading man, but I think he's very good at what he does. A lot of not, see? If I hadn't watched King of Staten Island, I'd be on the fence about this as well. But I did watch The King of Staten Island. I thought he was fantastic. But a lot of you haven't watched The King of Staten Island. That's shocking to me. Shocking. I'm shocked. See, Richard watched it and liked it. Kevin Plopper's passing on all this Pete Davidson stuff. See, Mateus liked it. And don't feel bad. Hey, Jason, thanks for joining. I have some people I know who I'm like, you should watch King of Staten Island. It's #1 on iTunes for 2 weeks. Don't you want to be part of what everyone's up to? I'm a big fan of being part of what everyone's up to. I think that's important in life. You always want to see what everyone's talking about. So it's like 2 hours of your life. Just watch the movie. Everyone says it's good. But there are some people I cannot get to watch this movie. They will not watch it. I'm like, I liked it. And they're like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, look at the Rotten Tomatoes score. And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, look at the audience score. And they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, watch it. So I think I might be able to get them to watch it this weekend. All right. It's my parents. I can't get them to watch it. I'm like, oh, watch it. All right. All right. So anyway, very exciting stuff. But let me ask you one other question here. Jake, I'm sorry. Yeah, these are expensive. How many of you have watched Scoob? Because it was announced today, we'll talk about it on Movie Math, that it's going to HBO Max, although I don't think a lot of you have HBO Max either, on the 26th. That's next Friday. Thanks, Karen. No, I'm not going to see my parents, Aaliyah. Thank you for asking. I've decided not to see my parents until after 4th of July. Because everyone wants to be just as careful as possible. A lot more of you watch Scoob, yet they still won't release the numbers. That's weird. More of you have watched Scoob than The King of Staten Island. But yet, I don't know why Warner Brothers never released those numbers. They couldn't have been that bad. Thanks, Aaliyah. That's very sweet of you. Aaliyah, so nice. Well, if you haven't watched Scoob, you can watch it as part of your HBO Max subscription next Friday, the 26th. It was a fun movie. I thought it was fun. Thank you guys. You guys are very nice. All right, so let's go to the third story of the day. Hey, Fernando. Thanks for joining. All right. Boop. All right, third story of the day. Universal's very busy because they can throw all these movies on streaming. They're like, let's greenlight a bunch of movies. I got space. So Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright has another movie that's coming out, by the way, but it's been delayed because of all the coronavirus stuff. So it's not coming out until now next year. But, you know, it's funny to me. I think he never should have passed on Ant-Man. I don't care what those creative differences were. Unless it was Kevin Feige saying you're fired, but we're going to call it creative differences to be nice. He should never have left. I saw that in the early thing. The Movie Lover says, I just made a movie called The Chain. It's a pretty generic title. I wouldn't be too worried about it. Wait till you hear what this movie is about. Wait until you hear what this movie is about. I don't know if I would have greenlit it, to be honest with you. So yeah, he did come back with Baby Driver, right? Baby Driver was a big comeback for him. But I thought he would have done bigger moves after Baby Driver. I still don't quite understand what's going on there. And he's the one who cast Paul Rudd, by the way. That was genius. And then we got Peyton Reed. And Peyton Reed is on The Mandalorian because they're like, he's a Marvel director. Now he's got that badge of honor, so he's never going to leave. And I'm very upset about it. Yeah, where is Baby Driver 2, Jay? It's ridiculous. Where is it? Ansel Elgort never really leveled up to stardom either. Hey, Gabriel, you've arrived. Welcome. I know what's happening with Baby Driver 2. This is nuts. So anyway, Edgar Wright's like, I can't wait any longer. I'm going to make another movie. So Universal just signed him to direct a movie called The Chain. And it's based on a novel by that guy. I forgot to write his name down. Adrian McKinty, maybe? I don't know. All right, so anyway, Jane Goldman, who usually works with Matthew Vaughn and is married to UK personality Jonathan Ross, is going to write. I think she's a little uneven in her writing, to be honest with you. I think sometimes she does a wonderful job, but sometimes she just doesn't quite deliver. So I would like her to write on a project, but I wouldn't have her be my only writer. I'd be like, well, Edgar Wright's a writer, so I'd be like, hey, Edgar, you're going to check this, right? All right, so let me tell you what this movie's about. Paramount passed on it, by the way. Paramount was going to do a deal, apparently, it says. The trades are saying. But then they were like, at the last minute, Paramount was like, no, thank you. Oh, no, Joseph. Edgar Wright is not writing and directing. He's just directing, but maybe he might also write. But it's been announced that he's going to be, and he's working with a writer. All right, so a woman named Rachel. It focuses on this mom named Rachel. And her daughter's kidnapped. Her 11-year-old daughter is kidnapped, but the kidnappers have a very specific request for how to get her daughter back. She must kidnap someone else's child, and only then will her child be released. And that's the chain. It's instead of like a phone chain, it's a kidnap chain. That's some very poor taste to me. I feel like this is, I'm glad you guys are enjoying my enthusiasm for this. It's nuts. I'm like, so what is it? Wait a second, what a second, what? So then, Rachel, though, to prove how tough she is, she's a cancer survivor. Doesn't this sound like a Hollywood pitch when they make fun of Hollywood pitches? I'm like, why are you throwing cancer in here? That seems like really poor taste. And what does it have to do with someone being strong? I mean, obviously someone is strong who overcomes cancer, but that's not the only. I'm like, what? That seems like in really poor taste as being like one of her like on her like best qualities card, like in Suicide Squad when they brought up every qualities about someone, they're like survive cancer. You're like, I don't think that's appropriate. So of course she's gonna outsmart this kidnapping chain, and she's gonna turn everything around. And I'm like, I don't know, guys. And Edgar Wright, I'm like, is this a comedy? Are you making this a comedy? I just, I really trust Edgar Wright, so I can't imagine he would sign on to this if it wasn't somehow better and when you see it. But like when it's being explained to me, I'm like, I mean, I don't know. Mel Gibson's Ransom did really well, where his child was kidnapped, but he just got the kid back. He didn't have to go kidnap someone else's kid. I don't know. John's into it. That's great. And I got to tell you, anyone who's into movies would be interested in the new Edgar Wright film. So, I don't know. It seems really crazy to me. It reminds me, you know what movie it reminds me of? The Box. Remember The Box from 2009 when Frank Langella was going around giving people a box that had a button in it, and if you pushed it, you would get a bunch of money. Hey, Lamont. And then someone would die that you didn't know. And the thing you were supposed to feel okay about was like, well, I don't know them, so it's okay. And it starred Cameron Diaz and James Marsden. Remember that? Nobody liked that movie. It was a total bomb, despite major talent, because I think sometimes you can go too dark for the mainstream audience. So I hope this movie is very inexpensive. I guess that's my takeaway from this. What's the budget? I hope it's very, very low. And who's in it? Who's in it? That would make a very important difference to me. Brandon loved The Box. That's great. That's excellent. I don't remember if I saw it or not. I remember the trailer very well and the stills from it. All right. So those are the three stories of Cameron Diaz actually just had a child, Dallas. She started a family, so that's wonderful. All right, so that's the three stories of the day. Let me get rid of the marker. All right, it's 5:38. You can ask me anything you would like until 5:48, and then I must go. And don't forget, tomorrow the watch-along is at 5 p.m. We're watching The Princess and the Frog, and it's on both Disney Plus and Netflix, so it'll be very easy for you to participate. That's amazing accessibility for that. Oh, so George wants to talk about Princess Diana. Well, yes, Kristen Stewart was cast as Princess Diana the other day. And I do kind of see the similarity visually, but Princess Diana, I really would love to see somebody depict Princess Diana as the very business-savvy woman that she was. She used to call the press before she would go somewhere, so they would be there to take her photo in advance. So it was a very dangerous, game, and obviously she lost in the end. It's very sad because the paparazzi who got her killed, although apparently there are rumors, according to, Anonymous, that's not true, it was an assassination. Yeah, Angelina Jolie did the same thing to Movie Lover. Angelina Jolie and Diana Spencer were very similar in how they used the press to make themselves bigger stars. They embraced the press, and in some ways helped make paparazzi to the level they are today. I'm sure other people play that game too, but just not quite the same level. But I just think Kristen Stewart has like a skittishness to her that is not at all like the more steady command that Princess Diana did. If they want to portray Princess Diana as like the scared creature who's being taken advantage of by the royal family, well then Kristen Stewart would play into that wonderfully. But that would be a lie. Princess Diana was very smart. She angled her way in there. I mean, I'm sure you'll see it portrayed on The Crown because that show is very well researched. And I think that's what should be portrayed in this movie. Thanks, Emmanuel. I keep a lot of tea. I am a purveyor of tea. I like tea. I think that Lloyd Lester says Kristen Stewart is a horrible actress. I wouldn't say horrible. I think she can only do one thing. I liked her in Charlie's Angels, which is 99 cents right now, by the way. So you can rent it and see that it's actually pretty good. Oh yeah, she'll have to have a British accent. I didn't even think of that. I think this is a bad idea. It's directed by the man who did Jackie. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you, Stephen. That makes me feel instantly better about it. Because, from the trailer, I was like, what are you doing, Natalie Portman? What are you doing? And then I saw the movie and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good and an interesting depiction of what it's like to be the first lady. So I actually really liked it. And that's actually a very similar formula, considering Natalie Portman was playing Jackie O. So that guy, I totally changed my mind. I think that guy really knows what he's doing. I'm like, this is great. So it just shows you how one little part of a deal can totally change everything. Hey, Danny. Porter says, thoughts on tomorrow's new episode of Harley Quinn? I've already seen it. I think I'm going to be watching the final episode of the season tomorrow myself. I'm a week ahead of you, and that way I can prepare all my coverage for next Friday. I'm going to cover the whole season, and then I'm also going to do a special video on Harley and Ivy's relationship. Very well done. I'll give you a little preview. Basically, my thesis statement is that while shows like Korra and She-Ra just had their LGBT moment at the very end, and they were like, oh, they kissed, bye everybody, we're out, peace out. I think that Harley and Ivy have been done like having a real relationship with ups and downs and drama, and I think that's the best way to go. I feel very strongly about that. Thanks, Joseph. I have no choice. This humidity is not my friend. Happy Pride Month to you too, Mandela. Evan, I'm going to watch Love Victor. I'm trying to get screeners from them, but they haven't gotten back to me. So I might, so I can't tell you how many of you offered me your Hulu accounts, which was so kind. So we'll see. Did I spoil She-Ra? That's everywhere. Who said I spoiled She-Ra? The Scatterbrain. It was everywhere. I'm sorry. It was everywhere on Twitter. It's been trending for like over a week. I'm sorry. What's my favorite part of New York? I like that everything is so close to it and that there are so many different experiences you can have in the same city. All the neighborhoods have such a distinct personality. I think that's really wonderful. Jordan, they haven't announced season 3 for Harley Quinn yet. I'm hoping they'll announce it at DC Fandom, and maybe they'll announce it going to HBO Max. That would make me so happy. That would make me so happy. Lena says, do you think Zack Snyder will have enough footage to make a full trailer by the time we get DC Fandom? I've heard he has. I've heard there will be a full trailer. It will be like a trailer. Fidel says, favorite dessert? I have a weakness for cookies. I really love cookies. Although, while I've been in quarantine, I've made cookies for myself a few times, and I've done a very good job. I've become quite the cook. I wouldn't say chef, but I'm a good cook. I'm very proud of myself. But there's been a delicious layer cake that I found. It's so delicious. It's like Stern's. I'll just tell you, it's Stern's layer cake. I don't know if anyone likes to have food for the Jewish holidays. I found 2 great things actually. I really liked layer cake, Stern's layer cake. If you're in New York, you know all this stuff. So Stern's layer cake is really good. And then also I like potato pancakes, but I found a really good potato pancake that's half potato, half zucchini. That is really good. My favorite type of cookie is a soft chocolate chip cookie. Some people like a brittle chocolate chip cookie. I don't like that. I mean, I'll take any chocolate chip cookie, but a soft chocolate chip cookie is by far and away my favorite. You know what my favorite I was actually talking to someone about this morning. Someone sent me a picture, a friend of mine sent me a picture of the Polite Pig. I can't believe that's what it's called. It's the Polite Pig chocolate chip cookie. It's really big, and they sell it at Disney Springs. It's too chocolatey, in my opinion. I've never had it, but looking at it, I'm like, it's too chocolatey. It's too chocolatey. However, the Num Num cookie that they have both at California Adventure and now at Hollywood Studios with The Incredibles is the best chocolate chip cookie ever. It's really like a Blondie that's served warm, and it's all gooey in the middle. It's so good. I feel bad I haven't had one in a long time. Madeline also understands the love of soft cookies. Oh, Lloyd likes the Polite Pig. That's awesome. I haven't heard anything about the Conjuring 3, Shamar. Other people know how good the Num Num cookie is. It is expensive, Jay, but, you know, I think it's a treat. Let's see here. Lucas, as I tweeted last night, I will review the whole Love Victor season because you guys had asked so nicely. Portis2 says, do you think Jason Momoa, where was that, should be reprimanded for his unprofessional behavior? I think, Jason, that's part of his charm. I think just the people around him just have to be smarter. I think you should understand that if you give something to Jason Momoa, you might as well you're giving it to the world. And that's fine. We all love to share tea. I mean, that was an amazing cup of tea. I totally understand where Jason Momoa was coming from. And I think that his remember he was at Comic-Con and he ran down the aisle and jumped on the stage and gave everyone a noogie? I think at the time you might have been like, I worked really hard on my hair, Jason, But I think that's on you, that you didn't realize that he'd probably do something like that. So I just, didn't he go and harass, didn't he play around with Henry Cavill too, at the premiere? That's awesome. And also, I gotta tell you, I like Jason Momoa so much in Aquaman, it's totally changed my opinion on him. Totally changed my opinion on Jason Momoa. I now think he's fantastic. I think he's so much fun. I think he's so cool in the... by the way, no character has ever done the Fortnite dances as realistically as Jason Momoa's character, because it just seems like something he would actually do, right? That's funny, Bryplot. I didn't watch the Cursed trailer yet. Mika, I didn't get a Perry Mason screener. Sometimes I get the screener, sometimes I didn't. And for a show like that, that's just not really in my wheelhouse. I usually only do TV if it's something that's very fanny, and I don't think Perry Mason's very fanny. Although, what a day to debut it on Father's Day. I think a lot of dads are going to be into Perry Mason. I think my dad's going to be excited about it. I have to remind him about that. Although, how late is it on? I should do food videos, Karen? Thank you. Oh, ready. The watch along is on Friday. The watch along for The Princess and the Frog, if anyone joined in late, is tomorrow at 5 p.m. Because it's Father's Day. I was giving my dad, because I do movie math on Sunday, I was giving my dad too small a window to do a FaceTime call, so I couldn't do that to him. Sorry. And also, I think it's nice to watch it for Juneteenth. Oh, it's 5:48. We'll do 2 more minutes. I'm having such a nice time talking to you guys. Yeah, Juan just got here. There's 2 minutes left, Juan. Dino, there isn't going to be a Watchmen season 2 as of right now. They're making it free starting tomorrow on HBO. Anyone can watch it. You should watch Watchmen, please. So maybe if it does really well, maybe it will eventually get a sequel. But I wouldn't count on it anytime soon, which is sad because it's so good. Alfonso, I have Green Lantern tea, but it's too strong. I've already hinted so strongly about it. I mean, come on, guys. You got to put these things together if I can't tell you directly. And remember with Watchmen, the first 2 the opening is amazing, but the first 2 episodes are only medium. But then it gets amazing. So you just got to get through episode 3. And also you should try and read the book if you can, the graphic novel beforehand. But it's okay if you don't. Yeah, that's right, Nathan. The tea is too powerful. It's too strong. Let's see here. Joseph says, thoughts on Matthew Cherry's deal with Warner Brothers. I loved Hair Love so much. I hope to see content come from him that's that quality. More of that. Rodrigo, I hinted about it when I talked about the Snyder Cut announcement. I said there will be a cameo in the Snyder Cut, that it was really exciting, that he was planning, and I told you to think about who else has ever talked about the Snyder Cut publicly with fans and tweeted about it. And somebody sent me a clip of somebody talking about it at Brazil Comic-Con. Okay, that's all. Come on, you guys. Oh, Madeline, I'd love to see your diamond painting. All right. Yes, it's 5:50, everybody. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining. I can't come right out and say it. I don't want to destroy Zach's surprise like that. I just don't think it would be nice. But I basically said it, guys. I basically said it. Oh, Giovanni, if you want to get a question in since you just joined, I'll wait for you for a moment. The deal isn't done, by the way, but that's the plan. The plan to do that. Giovanni, do you have a question? Aaliyah says, possible the Mandalorian Season 2 trailer or sneak peek tomorrow. Oh, I did get Aaliyah, I did get a screener for the last episode of the Disney Gallery. I did get that screener. But let's see. But Aaliyah, I'll keep my eyes open. Giovanni, no pressure. If you just want to even just say hi, just so I get some interaction with you since you just joined. Giovanni says bye. That's a great emoji choice. That's adorable. Giovanni, I hope that you'll join tomorrow for the watch along for The Princess and the Frog at 5 p.m. You have to have your own copy to watch along, but it's on Disney Plus and Netflix. And then also the next news stream will be Monday, but there's a call-in show on Sunday. All right, everybody, you guys are so great. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow for The Princess and the Frog. Bye, everyone.